Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays with Lisa Mejri, also known as Lisa's My Realtor. So today I wanted to talk about the story that broke last night about the couple in San Diego who unfortunately lost close to $800,000 in their escrow transaction when they were getting ready to close their home. They wire transferred their money and it was gone. So I have invited Miriam Ortega with Legacy First Escrow here today to share some tips on how to protect yourself during this process. Thank you for joining me today, Miriam. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. So again, Miriam from Legacy First Escrow, and tips for wire fraud. First and foremost, your escrow company should always send you wiring instructions via encrypted emails, which means that there should be a one-time passcode that is required in order for you to obtain those wiring instructions. Now, we always advise the agents, protect your buyers. Buyers, be aware. Always verify those wiring instructions with your escrow company. The wiring instructions will not change from the initial earnest money deposit until your closing funds, which is very, very important. So, we always tell the buyers, always make sure if you send it to Legacy First Escrow, and whoever the bank, it would not change from beginning to end.
So when she's talking about beginning to end and in regards to not changing, so when you first open escrow, you have to put your earnest money deposit in within 3 days. And then when you finalize 30 days down the road or close to 30 days down the road, you have another amount to come in with your down payment, or if it's cash, the remainder of the cash deal. So there's another amount that needs to come in to be able to close the deal. So that's what she's talking about. They're not going to change from the beginning to the end. They're going to be exactly the same.
Right.
And then I wanted to go a step further in regards to how you verify that the information is, because I've actually, as a CAR director, I have attended several different education classes, and I first of all, as for my clients, I let you know that I will never email you your wire instructions because there's so much fraud out there, and it's unfortunately a big epidemic, and I want to make sure that I'm going above and beyond for my clients. So number one, I never send emails out. Number two, the reasoning why these hackers are getting into the emails and they're making them look so sophisticated is they're changing the email so minutely that you don't catch it. So you see it really quick because it's coming from to your agent, and the agent is not, I'm not putting the agents down, this is just, the scammers are good. So like for example, my email is lisa@lisamejri.com. They would change maybe the I in Lisa to another L, or the A to an O, and so it looks exactly the same, but it's not the same. So another tip to be able to protect yourself and making sure that you verify it is I give the phone number directly for escrow to my buyers. And I tell the buyers to call that number that I give them, because these scammers are so sophisticated in the attachments with the wire instructions. They actually change the phone number to where when you call that phone number on that paper for the wire instructions, it's actually the scammer that you're talking to, or someone that's related to them or works with them, in cahoots with them, and then therefore they're going to say yes, that verified information is correct. So I always make sure that I contact my buyers and give them the escrow's phone number and make sure that it's proper. Ask them then to call escrow themselves to verify the information, and then take a step even further. And when you're at the bank doing the wire transfer, have the bank call the number that I provided as well, so that way the bank confirms with the escrow and they have all the numbers right, because there is human error as well. The bank could put in the wrong routing number or something wrong for the account number, and it may process that way too. So that happens as well, because we're all human. And that can happen. Do you want to add anything else?
So definitely everything that Lisa said. And when they do call the escrow company to inquire about wiring instructions, I'm very particular in how I ask my buyers. I ask them the questions, therefore they have to respond to me. Give me my bank name, give me my routing number before I provide you my bank account number, so that I know that we are in fact looking at the same wiring instructions, so that there is no mistake and that their money is in fact protected. Once they do wire, I always advise my buyers, once you've sent the money, please wait about an hour and call me back just to verify I have in fact received your funds. We just like to make sure that we protect our buyers. And just like I tell all my agents, I advise all my lenders, I advise all my buyers, anybody that I can get it out there, just remember to inquire before you wire. I always tell everybody, and it's so simple, inquire before you wire, because you want to protect your funds, I want to protect your funds, and your agent wants to protect your funds. So
Absolutely. So that's the number one thing is protecting and education. So if you know somebody that's looking at in the process, share them this video so that they can give them some tips to be able to protect it. Because ultimately, that's your hard-earned money,
Yes.
and we want to make sure that you're protected as the consumer because that's our number one priority. There was something else that I wanted to add, but I'm drawing a blank in regards to with that. The encryptions work well. I personally don't like the encryptions. I still have them call as well. Having the bank transfer wire.
And another thing I always tell them is, like you mentioned, the email addresses. Just make sure, like she said, it could be something so minute with the email address, and it could be something, for example, if they say John Doe at legacyescrow.com and they forgot to put first, it was intentional that they didn't put the first in there. So always make sure you look at the email addresses, make sure that they match, because they may copy the signature line, but the email address will be off. So just make sure you look at that, before you go ahead and check it out. And, if you're going to send funds to Legacy First Escrow, make sure that they are going to Legacy First Escrow and not to John Smith or Marianne, because they will have a tendency to change the name for the beneficiary on there. So just make sure you keep an eye out on that.
So the question I was going to ask you was, how long does it normally take for a wire transfer to happen and to take place? Because you said check within an hour. So what is the longest, so that way then people can, they can have an idea?
So realistically, if you have an institution, for example, like when you do Wells Fargo or Chase or Bank of America, so those big institutions, they usually come in within an hour to 2 hours, depending on when the wire was initiated. However, if you have a credit union or an outside bank, those do tend to take a little longer. I would say 3 to 4 hours, and depending on what their wire cutoff time is, sometimes you won't get them till the next day. So,
and keep in mind if you do it on a Saturday, because banks are open sometimes on the Saturdays, but escrows necessarily aren't, so they can't confirm it, and your bank will even tell you, hey, it's not going to get sent until Monday.
Correct.
So that you can go into your bank on Saturday, you can set up the wire transfer, but it's not technically going to go out until Monday.
Correct.
Or Tuesday if Monday's a holiday. And then that way then on Tuesday morning or Monday morning you can call escrow and say, hey, I set my wire out. Can you tell me when it arrives, or can you double check maybe an hour into, because most of them open about 9 o'clock or so.
Correct.
So that way then you can make sure to protect yourself, and it puts you more at ease. Like, okay, they received it. Phew, I can rest easy.
Right.
So these are just some tips to be able to help you to protect yourself. So again, those tips are: 1, make sure that you verify. Always verify. Call escrow. Have your agent, if you're not representing with me, have your real estate agent give you the phone number to call escrow, or Google them. Do not call the number that's on the attachment, because sometimes they change those. Do not respond back to the emails, because they may be the incorrect email and you're still talking with the scammer.
Right.
Once you have verified it with the escrow company and you get to your bank, have your bank verify it with the escrow company as well, to make sure that everybody is on the same page. And then contact the escrow company afterwards to let them know, hey, it's on its way, and check back in an hour or so to make sure that they receive it. Thanks so much for watching. Do you want to add anything else?
That's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact Miriam at Legacy First Escrow.
And then my direct phone number for Lisa Mejri, if you're interested in buying or selling a house, or if you have more questions, I'm always helping and always wanted to educate everybody. My direct phone number is 909-583-7844. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.